Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been going sleeveless in my videos lately. Screw it. I might go sleeveless for the live gig tomorrow because I don't want to boil like I did last week. I'm just dropping in to say hello and to remind you about the live gig tomorrow and just a couple of other things here that might be pressing. Before it gets dark, I thought I'd do something because once it gets dark, my life revolves around Dear Sweet Thomas, the baby possum. I have some cabbage. You know, what are they called? The little cores? Are they hearts or something? You know, where you cut a little cone shape. What's this cone? I'm holding the phone. You know, before you chop it up. My brother and I have that for him and some other stuff. My brother and I chopped up enough cabbage. It was 50 pounds that is in our crock right now. It will turn miraculously into sauerkraut. Remember, try to say it, sauerkraut. Don't move your lips, sauerkraut. And, you know, Perpetual and I did that part. So I've been on the go all day because I was running next door with heads of cabbage, and Blaney helped me chop. Very nice of him. I was happy to do it. He loves to chop. He loves to cook and whatnot, which is kind of good. Yeah. So that's what we did. We did canning on a Saturday, which really has never happened, I don't think, in the history of our lives. And I'm glad it did. I wasn't glad it did initially because of the game tomorrow. I just now set up the lounge. But I had everything ready to go. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? How can you not know what I'm saying? So it was just different, but I don't mind doing it on a Saturday just to get it done, you know? Okay, the reason why I'm coming at you other than that is I have a little survey. Do you think that television has been the downfall of society? Yes or no? And, you know, if there's a little gray area, you can let me know that as well. Kind of a survey. I remember when I went to Houston Community College all those years ago, and I had a professor named Dr. George Ross. If anybody out there knows Professor George Ross or whatever happened to him, or is he still alive, or he would be, you know, quite elderly now. I'm sorry. I lived for him. He even met my father and stuff. Like, before Dad died, no, after his death, we had a, father-daughter evening. They came to Houston. Let me not get off into this. I've got to stay focused. I'll tell you about Dr. Ross. I had him for 3 different subjects or whatever, classes, whatever you call it when you're in community college. It was what was it? It was English. What was it? American Literature 1 and 2, and then something else. English something or other 2. I don't know. So, he was just a wonderful guy, totally, really an interesting teacher. I would have to say that Dr. George Ross has influenced me more than anyone else in terms of the writing scenario, and actually Mr. Migdal as well, and Sandy Morrison. Okay, but I'm talking about in my super higher education that I got at Houston Community College, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. So, at any rate, I lived for Dr. George Ross, and one of the first assignments we had, I'm going to have to turn on my mosquito stuff. Hang on a minute, please hold. One of the first assignments we had was, I think it was English Composition 2, that's right, was to do an essay on how we felt about television. And I remember I was like really rude about it, how I felt about it, and it was bad for society and all this. Not that I didn't watch it, I was glued to it. I mean, my son, Spencer, you might know him, he was absolutely amazed. He got me a game once about I'm just doing chores with you watching, not chores, just lighting stuff. He got me this game once. It was some sort of disc game that you played, like a trivia thing. I've always loved trivia, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, hang on. Something like the 70s edition, and then I also have Trivial Pursuit. The television edition or something. I knew all the answers. It was crazy. He's like, oh my God, Mom, you must have lived in front of the TV, and I surely did. Surely. And please don't call me Shirley. So it's been a lot of deprogramming for me, quite literally. I mean, you know, it seems like every show has some sort of agenda. I mean, even Andy Griffith. I'm sorry, I love Andy Griffith. I don't mean to say anything rude about Andy Griffith. He's a dear sweet show and all that jazz, but that really depict that time period when there was segregation and little things like that. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Anyhow, I went on and on in this essay about how hideous TV was, and then, of course, I didn't think it was so hideous years later, and I think it's hideous now, and it seems like people get really glued to it and attached. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my answer to the question that I posed, what seems like 5 hours ago at this point. I think it's been detrimental. I mean, even though they have shows on about, I don't know, like science shows or something like that, do they ever give like some alternative theories that also work? You know, these different theories can work, ladies and gentlemen. Smoking and G Sharp and I went over that in a recent Stream of Consciousness, if I'm not mistaken. We have to do another one soon. It's just the scanning and whatnot. Yeah, that there are different models that can work. You don't have to just stick to one thing or what have you and whatnot. Okay, that's the trivia question of the night, or I don't even know if it's a trivia question, but how do you feel? And if you don't think so, don't feel weird about being honest about it. I doubt anybody's really going to answer the question anyway. All right, I guess that's all, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's nice? I guess that's not all. You know, when you're canning and flying around the house and moving ironing boards to make extra counter space and doing all this jazz, you don't really think about what's going on in the world, and then suddenly you get done, you might want to check your phone or a message or a YouTube thing. Things are really, we live in a dystopian society at this time. I'm just wondering how much longer that people are going to allow certain things to happen without really pushing back. I guess that's all. I'll talk to you later. I doubt I'll do another video. I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern here in the Belly of the Beast in the lounge for the last live lounging episode of season 3. And really, I'm not sure, you know, who knows what the future holds, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Join me, join others, drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. I want to see if my fish was visible. Research before you judge, and remember, war is a racket. Don't take my word for it. Check out General Smedley Butler and what he had to say. Okay, over and out. Live for you. Bye.